All right.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. For all of you at home, this is our second shot at this because we all got so high that we fucked the first try up. So let's do it again. Grandma's boy, take two.
God.
Hey, do you wanna see that movie? Do you wanna see that movie? Do you wanna see that movie? Welcome to Hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Lynn.
What does high score mean? New high score. Is that bad? What does that mean? Did I break it?
And joining us again, the podcaster with a fully packed bong, Pat.
I should have wore a condom.
Oh, God. This week we will be discussing the 2006 comedy Grandma's Boy, written by Barry Wernick, Alan Covert, Nick Swardson, directed by Nicholas Goosen, starring Linda Cardellini, Alan Covert, Peter Dante, Shirley Jones, Shirley Knight, Joel David Moore, Kevin Nealon, Doris Roberts, and Nick Swardson. As always, this podcast will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, take a gummy, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast. And now, it is time for another installment of Disasterpiece Theater. Welcome to Disasterpiece Theater, where me and my two co-hosts will act out one scene from the movie that we are reviewing for you this evening. So please, sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Alright, quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action.
Look, guys, come on. I know the food's a little different here, but it's actually good for you. We don't serve with any grease or fat.
If we pay extra, can we get some grease or fat?
Do you have bathrooms, or do I have to shit in a plant?
Yeah, stupid fucking idiot red shirt ass. You guys think you're so fucking cool. It makes me sick. Let's go make fun of the vegans and their crazy lifestyles. We're not hurting anyone. Go eat a hamburger and choke on a cow dick.
Nice karma, guy. Blow.
Cut. Cut. Cut.
Okay. All right. Nice job.
You know what's
Nice
funny is that Pat's actually wearing a red shirt.
job.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Red
Okay.
shirted ass.
Oh, God. Okay. I got one fact on this. So the video game featured in this movie, The Demonic, was actually going to be a game released for the Xbox 360, but the project was canceled when the production company Majesco Entertainment ran into financial troubles, which is a shame because I owned an Xbox and I thought that game looked pretty good. It's something I definitely would have played back in the day. And I know you guys are both gamers, avid gamers, more than I am. And what do you guys think? You guys thought that game looked good?
Oh, yeah, I would have played that for sure.
Yeah, that definitely looked fun.
It looked a lot better than the game that fucking JP was working on with the guy in the leather jacket and the jeans.
Oh, the one with the head that fell off?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, opening thoughts. Pat, had you ever seen this movie before preparing for the podcast?
No, I have not.
Okay. And Delyn, I know you've seen this a million times, and so did I. This one is, this is a go-to for me when I just want some mindless laughs. It's funny.
It's the source of many, many things that we say over and over again in the house.
Yes.
I remember we went to play slots one time and I won like this huge jackpot and it kept going and going and going. And I'm going to him, I think I broke it. Is it broken?
What does high score mean? Is that bad? Yeah, we do that just to fuck with people. Like, you'll see someone next to us at a machine, and they're like, you can tell their soul is being sucked out as the machine is just sucking money out of their wallets. And like, we're hitting bonus rounds. We're going, sweet bonus round, high score. What does that mean? You can see the person behind it just like fuck you. And they get up and leave. Oh, God.
Yeah, because you wouldn't ride that wave.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we actually went to the casino last night, night before.
Night before.
And we were there. There was this weird guy there. His jeans had split from the waistband down to the bottom of his knee. This grisly looking little mutt of a man. And you could see his fucking Hanes underwear perfectly. He walked by. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, you could see his fucking whole ass. So weird. So he gets up. I'm like, he must know. He must be going home to change his pants. He left his date there. Nope. He came back and he was walking around the casino all night with his fucking ass hanging out. Weirdest thing I ever saw.
It was
And
very strange.
No one said a thing.
That's not true.
I think everyone was stunned because he was like holding them as he walked. So like he'd walk with like his hand gripping the top of the pants and holding them up. It was fucking weird,
dude. And that wasn't even the weirdest part. So then there's this guy. He's like 7 fucking 10, and his girlfriend is like 4'1", and we're sitting at a fucking game playing, and there's this like weird old guy sitting next to us, and he's like, "Look at that. That's weird. That guy is so tall. That lady is so short." And we're like, yeah, that is weird. He goes, I have to go look. So he gets up and he goes, watch my machine. So he gets up and he goes over to where they are. And there's like this kind of like sign that's greeting you into fucking the casino, but there's nothing on the other side. So the guy's sitting there, he's holding the sign in his hand and he's like pretending like he's reading it, but it's white. There's nothing written on it. And he's staring at the people and he's going, It was, dude, the whole thing was so weird.
It was a really weird night.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if I was
definitely
dreaming.
Sounds like a weird night.
It was a weird night. Delynn, can I tell the listeners about how you savagely bit me and scarred me?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to.
So he's going to anyway.
If you listen to Breaking Vinyl, you've heard this story, but I know we have listeners that do not listen to Breaking Vinyl, so I'm going to share it with you. Specifically, this is for Pam. Pam, this one's for you. Enjoy. So Delynn was in the kitchen, and she was bitching at me about something, like, yeah, I don't know, like, don't leave your mess all over the kitchen, or, don't leave your poopy underwear on the bathroom floor, whatever it was, she's always bitching at me about something. Don't wash your ass in the sink, in the bathroom sink. It splash up on my toothbrush. Stuff like this. Like
he does that, Pat. He does
stuff.
This. He fucking he'll pull his pants down and sit in the bathroom sink and splash his asshole instead of using a cotton wipe like the rest of the universe.
Oh my God.
She catches
and then
me
it's
doing this.
splashing fecal matter all over where our toothbrushes are, where our toothpaste is. I almost died.
She catches me doing this the other day and she goes, don't ever do that again. I go, I've been doing that for fucking 20 years. No one's gotten sick yet. Okay. So anyway.
Well, they will now.
She's yelling at me from the kitchen about something. So I said, shut your mouth, woman, before you get your ass kicked. Now, I said this because the wife is a hot-headed little Italian. I know if I go at her with that, she will attack. And she did attack. She charged me from the kitchen into the living room, tackling me onto the couch and mounting me. So I cinched her up in a Kimura. I got her arm behind her back nice and tight. And I said, just get off me and I'll let you go. And she said no. And I cinched it up a little tighter. I said, just get off and I'll let you go. Nope. So she fucking dips her head down under my arm and she bites into my lat hard. And she grips on. She's got a whole mouthful of Des. And she goes, and I said, no, I'm not letting go. So I cinched it up a little tighter and she bit down a little tighter. And then we sat there for about 3 seconds and she bit down a little tighter and I had to let go because I could tell she was about to break the skin. So she hops up. I pull my shirt up and we both gasp. Oh, I mean, this is a bad bite. I sent it to the hosts of Breaking Vinyl and they couldn't believe it. Like, they couldn't believe it. And I showed them the bruise today at golf. We were playing some iGolf, and they're like, oh, my God. So we take a picture of it, and I send it to my karate instructor and his wife because we're friendly with them, and I thought that they would get a kick out of it because they know Delynn and I, and they know how we roll. So I send the text off with I send the picture off of the bite with the text that says, I had Delin in a Kimura, but she escaped. And about 2 seconds later, I get a notification that I'm getting a text back. And the text reads, "This is perfect dental. Is everything okay?" I sent it to my dentist. And Delin is screaming, "You didn't send that to our dentist. You didn't send that to our dentist."
What a dumbass.
Yeah, true story. But I did. And yeah, so there you go. A little glimpse into our lives.
Into our fucking marital bliss.
And apparently I do not know how to spell my wife's name.
Yeah. No, 20 years, he still doesn't know how to spell my name correctly. And he also doesn't know the difference between a consonant and a vowel, but like you do.
Okay.
Which is why he's not on Wheel of Fortune.
And now it is time for the Fast Five. And for tonight, I have done a classic arcade game showdown because I thought that it would go perfectly with the movie that we just watched. So I'm going to give you 2 games, and you're just going to tell me which one was better. Number 1, Pac-Man or Donkey Kong? Pat, which game was better?
Pac-Man.
Okay, you're still wrong. Delin, which game was better?
No, I'm not.
Pac-Man.
Dude, it's fucking Donkey Kong. You guys are fucking magoos.
You're a donkey.
Dude, you go to Pizza Hut in 1984 and you sit at the little table with your pizza and the fucking Pac-Man table. It was the fucking best thing ever. Fuck you.
Donkey Kong is a better game.
No.
Number 2, Dig
Donkey.
Dug or Joust? Pat, which one is better?
Joust.
And you're still wrong. You can't get
No,
that
I'm
fucking
not.
ostrich to stop on that platform. It just
Sure you
doesn't
can.
work.
Sure it
Thing
does.
slides off the pad, and you gotta hit the button to make the wings flap. Fucking that game is stupid. Delin, which is the
So
better
are
game?
you.
Dig Dug.
Yeah, Dig Dug is the way better game. Come on, guys. Number 3, Galaga or Defender? Pat, which one is better?
Defender.
Delin, which is better?
Galaga.
I'm going to flip-flop on this one. Since we already did the Fast Five once tonight, but we were high and we fucked up the podcast. I did say Galaga originally, but I'm going to go with Defender this time. And my answer is the correct answer. So the correct answer is Defender.
All right, eat a bag.
Okay. Number 4, Frogger or Centipede? Pat, which game was better?
Burger.
Delin.
Frogger.
Okay. Actually, I wrote it down. If you guys will look, it says Frigger. But the correct answer is Centipede. When I was a little kid, me and my dad used to play Centipede like a lot during the summer when I would go visit him. I have a terrible relationship with my father.
Did you miss else Centipede too?
No, I did not. But here we go. Number 5, Asteroids or Space Invaders? The OG space games. Delin, which game was better?
Space Invaders.
And Pat.
I love asteroids.
You're still wrong. The
No,
right
I'm not.
answer is Space Invaders. Man, I remember like going to movie theaters when I was a little kid, and they'd have a Space Invaders machine there, and it was just like, oh, so good. Dun, 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 dun. So good. Okay, and we did do the facts, and let's do a box office gross on this one. So, with a budget of $5 million and a box office gross of just $6 million, this was considered an absolute flop at the box office, but it did make $50 million in DVD sales. Remember what DVDs were, kids? So this would be considered a success, I would have to imagine. I don't know if the
It
I don't
probably
know-
gets like, like the cult classic kind of
Right.
thing.
but I don't know how that works. Does the studio make any money back off the DVD sales, or are they just fucked for putting up $5 million to make this movie?
No, I think they make money back on the DVD because they own the
would.
rights.
Yeah, you would have to think they'd get a piece of it, unless they sold the rights for the DVD production.
I gotta say, this version of this in particular episode is going much better than it did the first time. I think the gummies are starting to level out a little. Okay. Let's do a synopsis. So I have a synopsis. Everybody, it just hang in there. It's kind of long. I'll get through it as quickly as I can. A 35-year-old video game tester has to move in with his grandma and her 2 old lady roommates, one of which is a whore. with a vagina that smells like the Great Depression. There you go.
Oh, God.
Okay. Dylan,
Oh, Lord. Let's get into the
in.
scene breakdown,
Let's
shall
do
we?
it. Sure.
All right. Alex is a 35-year-old game tester for Brainasium Games. He's in his apartment playing video games with his roommate when their landlord informs them that they are being thrown out for rent delinquency, which turns out because the roommate has not been paying rent and has been spending his money and Alex's money at the Filipino massage parlor. He tries to crash with his weed dealer Dante, is offered a place to stay by his grandma Lily, but instead decides to stay with his friend Jeff, who lives with his parents and has a sweet car bed. This decision turns out to be a disaster when Alex, unable to sleep, decides to masturbate with Jeff's Lara Croft action figure and ends up being caught masturbating by Jeff's mother and ejaculating on her face. With no other option in the middle of the night, he goes to the office and falls asleep at his desk. Ugh.
I didn't notice the load splattering off her face. Where did you get
I
that?
didn't either.
Dylan, where did you get that? Did you watch it?
Because he turns and he faces her and he goes, and she's going, eh! So he's masturbating on his mother.
I just assumed it got all over her slippers and feet.
So
Okay.
did I.
Okay. So
I didn't think it was that graphic.
So right away, this opening scene, we get Rob Schneider. We don't get a ton of him in this movie. I think this might be the only scene with him.
I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. And, you know, Pat, when we did this podcast the first time, you were mentioning how Adam Sandler, you know, he's got a group of guys around him in this era of movie making that he's going to go to over and over and over. He's going to use them in The Wedding Singer. He's going to use them in Grown Ups. He uses them and it's great. And these guys are all Happy Gilmore. These guys are great. They're all interchangeable. I really love it. And he's good to his friends. You know, he gave these guys a career in film, and it's really cool. And Adam Sandler, man, who would have guessed that this guy was going to be able to pull off some of these more dramatic roles like Cut Gems. And I just watched another one called Spaceman. I mean, he's a pretty diverse actor. I never thought I would see him pulling off these roles, but he's doing it as he gets older. He's kind of carving out a new career for himself. So, you know, kudos to Adam Sandler. But Rob Schneider, he gets this great line, "Smells like Cypress Hill concert in here." There's so many one-liners that made me laugh out loud when I was watching this today. And it reminded me of why I like this movie. It just makes me feel good. And then we get a little Easter egg, you know, for Rob Schneider, where Jeff is going to say, "What's up, Deuce Bigelow?" And you'll remember that Rob Schneider played Deuce Bigelow.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And there's a scene in this whole thing going to Jeff's house, you know, "Shh, be quiet. My roommates are sleeping. Don't you mean your parents?" "Yeah, same thing." "Sweet pajamas." "Yeah, they were a gift from my roommates." And they go into the bedroom and he's got the fucking race car bed. It's so ridiculous. And he fucking says, you know, you want a stuffed animal? I've got a bear. And he throws him the bear, and, you know, fucking Al's gonna have to sleep on this fucking inflatable raft. It's so fucking ridiculous.
I know.
But
Can we also talk about the fact that he is a 35-year-old man that has an Xbox, a laptop, and literally like a half a black trash bag with belongings?
no,
Like,
but
that's it.
no, but the thing is great, and it's not really explained much in the script, but we do get a couple of lines of exposition that explain that Alex was a very successful businessman
He was an accountant.
for his very successful father. So
Right.
I imagine that he had his life together, like really squared away, and just was like, "This isn't for me," and just gave it all up to be a game, you know, developer and tester. And I thought that was kind of a good subplot to this movie, because it makes it more believable that this woman would fall in love with him, knowing that he's a deeper character than just some stoner loser. Like she says, you know, she understands that he's not just that. He's capable of so much more, which, not to jump to the end of the movie, we're going to see he actually achieves at the end. And there's a nice payoff for her for taking a chance on him. But I digress. When he gets up and grabs the Laura Croft doll, Laura Croft.
Wow.
Laura Croft.
Laura Croft.
I'm sorry. Gummy time. The Laura Croft doll to go jerk off. He looks over at Jeff, and Jeff is holding on to that turtle, and he is like blowing his thumb. It's fucking hilarious.
Well,
Sorry to ramble on.
It works the scene really well because just the entrance into the room. He's still the 6-year-old. He goes running into the room, jumps onto the bed onto his knees. I saw that whole thing and I'm like, man, he's taken this whole character of being 6 years old right to the edge.
Oh, it's so good. It's played so well though, Pat, because the way he tries to talk to his friends and everybody so he doesn't look like such a loser living at home, my roommates, all this roommate stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then we get the intimate scenes with him and his mother when she picks him up from work and he says to her in this little kid's voice, "Hi, mommy, did you remember the Tebow Samurai Jack?" And it's like, that's who this kid is. That's who this kid is. So I liked it a lot.
All right. Alex is woken up by Samantha, a new consultant hired to help them deliver Eternal Death Slayer 3 on time. She goes on to her office while Alex goes into the break room and receives a challenge from the other testers to play a game and see who wins. Alex dominates while Samantha has a meeting with the company owner, New Age nut Mr. Cheezel, and meets the story's antagonist, game design prodigy JP. JP is clearly infatuated with Samantha in all the creepiest ways possible and takes her on a tour of the company, My Lady, where she and JP visit the break room and see all the chaos during break time. I love the scene, the frog bog, the gray bush, everything in this game room is just love it.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And JP is such a weirdo, man. This guy plays, I love this character because, again, it's so good. He's so weird. He's got split personality.
The robot voice, the
robot
body.
God.
Oh, he's so arrogant and he's so conceited and like a narcissist, but at the same time, he's so insecure and so awkward. It's a really deep character if you pay attention. And I love all the stuff, milady. And shit. What's all this milady shit? Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking whack job.
I would like to get you a cobra, just go black cobra around your neck. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
JP was the biggest dork I have ever seen.
But it's just amazing. Like he does it so well. Just
and the rest of his coworkers. JP is supposed to be this genius, beat Zelda before I could walk.
Yeah.
And which is hard to even comprehend. But they have so much fun making fun of him. Hey, JP, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix? And I was, there were some chuckle lines in that whole movie. And they usually were when they were making fun of JP.
Oh, of course, Samantha, don't take the red pill. Samantha, don't take the red pill.
Fucking awesome. They did. They just made fun of him on a regular basis, and that was so good.
But the funny thing is they all have respect for him because these are all game testers and designers, and they recognize that he is a genius and that he is the creator of some of their favorite games that they've been playing since they were kids. So if he would just show them a little respect back, he could be that kind of eccentric genius,
super cool dude.
Yeah, but instead he shits on these guys.
Yeah, he's nothing but a condescending prick to his coworkers.
Exactly.
And I don't know if this scene that I'm thinking of, I think it's the one scene that made me laugh hard. And I don't know if it's already come up or not, but it was when Jeff is doing his chores.
Yeah, we haven't got there, but go ahead.
Okay. I can't get past it because you have a cat. When he's vacuuming and he lifts the couch and finds three dead cats under the couch. I laughed so hard when I saw that, and I wasn't expecting that. But as soon as I saw the tip of the cat tail, I'm like, oh, this can't be good.
Oh, my poor little cat went, meow, and he put his little hand over his eyes.
His little hand over his eyes.
Over his little crippled cat eyes. My cat has crippled eyes. Little crippled cat.
Jesus.
They're not crippled. His eyes are fine.
Okay. So Alex, little character building here too, we get two scenes. These are the two scenes we get where we're going to understand that even though Alex is the oldest guy there and they make fun of him. So this is actually a nice foil now that I'm thinking about it, the foil between JP and Alex, because they're both respected for different reasons in the office. And they're also both ridiculed for different reasons in the office. They're both looked up to because Alex is amazing at playing video games. And in this world, that is a big deal. He can beat anybody at any game. He's a virtuoso. And JP invents the games that people are playing. He's a virtuoso. They make fun of Alex because he's the old man with the gray bush, and they make fun of JP because he's an awkward prick. So I thought that was pretty clever character development, and I liked the way it worked.
Yeah. And you are right too. As much as they make fun of him, and Jeff especially, Jeff like unloads on him every chance he gets, probably because Jeff feels a little bit awkward in his own skin as well.
Of course.
But when they jumping super ahead, but when they're showing the new game, and Alex is going, no, Jeff is like, shut up, I want to see this. Like, he's so excited and so intent, and it's like at that time he believes it's JP's project, and tons of respect, so excited for it. So it's like, it just goes to show you that they actually do respect him. And if he had just been, even slightly cool and not so condescending, he could have had a lot of friends there,
Oh, yeah. And even Kane, when Kane goes into the office to make the suggestion about changing the colors, you can see that he's nervous. Like, he's actually nervous to talk to JP, So, yeah, I mean, they have respect for him.
But that's also the scene that gives you a true insight into JP. When JP turns around and goes to Samantha with Kane's suggestion and then takes credit for it.
Yep.
Right.
When it shows you exactly who he is.
Yeah. And when the scene comes up later with Demonic and JP's crying and drooling like a baby, as soon as I saw Alex give him the disc, I knew what was going to happen.
Of course.
You had to know after that scene with the color change.
Of course. Yeah. We'll get to that. But we also see that JP has literally a split personality, because this isn't like a moral dilemma for him where, it's just him feeling a little guilty. No, there's part of him that says it was a good idea. Give this kid, the props. And then another side of him says, shut up. Like, okay, this guy's
robot voice side.
Yeah, he's a whack job.
He's in some points, I think he's got 3 different versions of himself talking. It gets a little intense. Yeah. There's a lot of people in there.
Let's keep rolling.
None of them cool.
With no other place to go, Alex takes up his grandma's offer of staying with her and meets her roommates, the oversexed Grace and the overmedicated Bee. These golden girls soon have Alex doing odd jobs and chores around the house, which leaves him exhausted and subsequently begins to affect his job performance. Alex's coworkers, Jeff, Barry, and Kane, prove to be of no help. Further affecting his job performance, he acquires a black box from Dante since his grandmother doesn't have cable. And upon returning, high and exhausted, he burns his hands on a cookie sheet, heating up leftovers since grandma doesn't have a microwave.
Of course not. She's 100.
She's 100. I love the excuses about the sexy roommates are what is tiring him out so much they won't stop watching porn.
Well, it's a nice, and we get a nice setup there and a nice payoff when they deliver the lunch. So
yeah,
absolutely, dude. This scene where Grandma makes Alex his first meal, his first dinner. He comes home from work. She gives him chicken cutlet, leftover lasagna, scrambled eggs, chocolate pudding, and a slab of wedding cake. I'm sitting there stoned like, okay, yup, let's do it. I'm like, that looks good. I'll eat that right now. Holy shit.
That's what it's like when you go to your grandmother's house when she's not actually making a meal and it's just what's in the fridge,
but him in the fridge. Oh, it's so great to have somebody who actually shops.
Yep.
I don't know what this is, but I'm going to eat you too.
Oh, shit.
Stoned
and then
out
he
of
grabs the cookie sheet with his bare hands.
I could not believe it. I'm like, all right, I understood that this movie was going to be goofy and silly, but wow.
Yeah.
He sets, and they make a point They make a point of showing him set the thermostat for the stove at 450 degrees. So you're like, oh God, he's not going to. Oh, yep, he did.
Dude, and he puts the spaghetti on the pan.
On the fucking cookie sheet.
It's so good.
Everything on the cookie sheet. It was so good.
And when he grabs that pan and flips it up, it's really good physical comedy. I fucking laughed out loud. I thought it was really good.
As he reaches into the oven, for a second, my head's going, oh, he's not going to. And then he grabs it and I'm like, yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, he
So
is.
good.
Flips the food all over the place.
I know. The acquisition of a black box and fire. Let's start that over again. Woohoo! Take 2. Gummy 2.
Yeah.
The acquisition of a black box backfires on Alex. Though since the ladies become... Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Okay.
You told me to take extra gummy. This is your fault.
Hey, listen, I promoted this show as the Gummy Show, so go.
Oh, this is going to be the Gummy Cast.
The acquisition of a black box fires on Alex.
Smooth. Does it fire on Alex?
It shoots the hell out of
Black box is firing on Alex?
Pew, pew, pew. Okay.
Get it right, because I'm not cutting any of this out.
Good.
The acquisition of a black box backfires on Alex. Since the ladies become infatuated with Antiques Roadshow and monopolize the TV, so Alex is unable to finish his work. With the clock ticking, Alex gets some tickets to the actual roadshow and sends them off to bed so he can get some work done. In between all the chores and actual work, Alex is also developing a project of his own, a video game called Demonic, that he shows to Lily and teaches her how to play it. We also get into look into what kind of guy JP is when Kane offers him a quick solution to a problem and he dismisses him, only to go to Samantha with the idea later as his own. And like we said, that just really gives you a slice or look into what JP's really like.
Just how much of a dick he is.
Yeah, just that he doesn't care, and these people are beneath him, and he actually believes that. So why would he give them credit?
Yeah. Well, I thought the character acting of him losing his mind and crying in the living room, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the kid was doing a pretty good job there of mixing comedy and drama. I mean, it was.
I love this actor. He's in Dodgeball. He's in a bunch of things. He's a great comedic actor. Yeah, exactly. And you realize that he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and he's trying to develop this, third addition to his famous game, and he can't get it done. And he says it. He goes, "You're going to fail. You're not going to finish this game," with one of his personalities. And the other one says, "Shut up." And then the third one says, "You're delusional. Not going to get it done." So it almost feels like he is backed into a corner here, and his only way out is to steal this game. It's thrown in his lap. He shows up at Alex's. Alex hasn't told anybody about the game. He tells JP as much and then gives him the disc. And JP is on his way. He doesn't like Alex. Alex doesn't like him. He's going to steal the game. He's going to steal the game. He's going to fucking pawn it off as his own. And honestly, this is how human beings work for the most part. It isn't that much of a stretch to believe that somebody in his position would do this to a coworker that they don't care for. So again, good character building, good character writing. I mean, it worked. All right, Pat, anything on that scene? Do you like Antiques Roadshow?
I've seen it. Not my big thing.
I've watched hours of Antiques Roadshow on fucking binge. I love Antiques Roadshow.
And apparently so does Alex's grandmother and her roommates.
Yeah, go read a Playgirl or something.
When the first time I saw Shirley Jones on screen, I was like, oh my God, Shirley freaking Jones is in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
And she's very funny.
I love it.
Good. I was just going to say, am I the only one that thinks that the actor who plays Alex could be Mel Gibson's brother?
You're the only one.
Okay. then I guess I am that stoned.
I did not see
But
Mel Gibson.
I want to make links to some of the characters in this movie to others, like we've done before. Obviously, well, Des might not pick this up, but I'm sure Delin will. Samantha was in what 2 movies?
Daddy's Home.
And
Yep.
the second one.
Daddy's Home too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And who was... I can't remember the character's name. He was the fat kid with the curly hair.
Oh, it's Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
From...
Don't Look Up.
1,000 Things.
Don't
Yeah.
Look Up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Des, I'm very disappointed you got them both, so fuck you.
Yeah, and he's also in that new movie that came out. I think it's a Netflix original, but I'm not sure. It's called You People, and it's got Eddie Murphy in it. Eddie Murphy is fucking
Oh,
brilliant.
you were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
he's brilliant in this movie. Jonah Hill's brilliant in this movie. It's really, really good. So yeah, if you're looking for something new to watch, I can recommend that movie. Very good.
You
You
People.
People. Yes. And Don't Look Up. Also very good. And we also reviewed it. So go check that out. The cast with Don't Look Up. Delin and Pat loved it.
No, we did
Unless
not.
You're taking me to the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
All right. The next day, all the testers have delivered not only all the bugs, but ways to solve them, and the game is back on schedule. Mr. Cheezel sends them all out for a dinner on Brainasium. After a run-in with a New Age restaurant and waiter Shiloh, the crew ends up at Alex's grandmother's house, where they find the ladies laughing hysterically as they watch Spanish television. They soon realize why. Grandma Lily and her roommates drank the tea made out of Alex's weed. Dante brings more weed and brings a bunch of people with him to boot, and a huge party breaks out, where Barry sucks his first boobie for 13 hours, and Jeff has sex with Grace. They also send JP a mocking voicemail. And you can't even talk about this party scene without talking about Linda Cardellini's version of Push It.
So good.
Favorite part of the movie was this party.
Oh, I
So
loved it.
many things. There's one scene that I picked up on, one part of the movie that I don't know if you saw, but I laughed my ass off. Grandma is sitting in a chair. She's holding a bowl with cookie dough, and the blender is still in it while she's holding a beer bottle unconscious.
It's so good. It's so
The cookie
good.
dough with the blender still in it. I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking hysterical.
Oh my God. It's so good. And fucking when Jeff is in the bedroom and, he bangs her and they wake up in the morning, he's like, you were my first. And she's like, you were my 3,000th something. And he goes, high five. And they high five. And then he rolls over, looks into the camera and goes, I should have worn a rubber.
Should have worn a condom.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. And then there's this giant biker. So the grandma is trying to give some food to this yuppie guy, and the guy's like, oh, I don't like that. And she's like, we don't have to fucking eat it. She gives
Colonel
it to this
Crackers.
yes, Colonel Crackers. So she gives it to this biker, and the biker goes, too bad for you, dork, or whatever. He was in Kumar and Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay, or escape from Guantanamo Bay.
He can't say that word.
He was
No,
Big Rick.
apparently not.
He was Big Rick, the jail guy with the cock meat sandwich, and he comes in and Harold's like, please don't be Big Rick, please don't be Big Rick, please don't be Big Rick, and he's like, I'm Big Rick, and I got your cock meat sandwich, and he pulls his dick out to make Harold blow him, and Harold's like, are all the guards gay here? He's like, I ain't gay, you're sucking my dick. So weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
very.
Okay.
Next.
Oh dear. Are we? Oh God, here we go. The next day, Alex drives Samantha home and they discover they like one another. After hearing the voicemail, JP is distressed, and when he finds out that Samantha and Alex have gone to lunch together, he starts to lose it. He shows up at Alex's house crying and asking him how he can fit in better. Alex tries to give him some pointers, feeling bad for the dude, who's a prodigy but pretty pathetic socially. During this talk, JP sees demonic and offers to do some testing and take some notes for Alex like a friend would do. Alex is flattered and gives the game to JP, asking him to be nice because he's not the genius that JP is. However, in the morning when JP is unveiling his new game for the testers and Mr. Cheezel, Alex realizes it's demonic. JP has stolen the game and claimed it as his own. Infuriated, Alex accuses him of the theft, and when no one seems to believe him because he's been making the game in secret and no one knows about it, quits Brainasium. Like I was saying earlier, everybody is so excited to see this game and think it's so cool looking. And they all think it's JP's. And poor Alex is just like, how do you even tell people, like, that's not his, it's mine? Like, he's kind of in a rough spot.
Here's the problem with this whole scene. One, so he's Alex is feeling a little what's the word I'm looking for? He says he's feeling insecure about this game, about making this game. It's why he hasn't shared it with any of his friends. So he's not going to choose to share it with JP first. That's not the first person he's going to show this to, because if he's feeling insecure about it, then he's surely not going to show it to somebody that he fancies as a genius game programmer. He'd be afraid that he would just laugh at him, you know? Now, granted, JP sees the game and Alex doesn't show it to him. So there is a difference there.
Right.
But he's not giving this to JP. JP says, that's something a friend would do. They're not friends. They're not friends. JP's a snake in the grass, and Alec knows it. He's not giving him this. And even if he did give it to him, you know how easy it would be to prove that he wrote this game? He'd have the code. It would be impossible for JP to fool Mr. Cheezel into thinking that he wrote this game. The paper trail would be too long. Alex would have too much inside information. He could have cleared this up in 2 seconds, in my opinion. I mean, right away, the demon that the grandmother unleashes on JP at the end to kill him, and why wouldn't he just say, okay, great, it's your game. Show us the giant demon. Show us the demon. Make it come out. JP couldn't do it because he doesn't know about the demon. And Alex will go, here it is. There's the demon. I wrote the game. Go fuck yourself, machine boy.
I mean, they do say JP goes, he stole the code and he studied it overnight because he said, let me beat you. And right. I mean, they were like, no, that's why. So that's kind of how they explained that away. But I do agree that here's the thing. A game is not just on a disc. A game is a file with, like you said, all sorts of code and everything else. Yeah. And he didn't give that to him on a disc. He gave him the disc of the game.
Disc of the game.
Yeah, that's a copy. He didn't just give the guy his laptop and say, have at it.
Yeah, he'd have floppy disks up the yin yang. I mean, he's been working on this thing.
He'd be saving it. Yeah. He'd be saving it. He'd have that at the very beginning of the movie. He's drawing a picture of demonic, a pencil drawing.
Yes.
Show him that and be like, where did I come up with this then?
Yeah. Like, and where did he go to college for art? Because he's an amazing artist on top of it. It would be. It's, again, the paper trail over 3 years of developing this game would outweigh anything JP could say with his one little disc. But it was fine. Yeah. I had no problem with it.
I mean, we can't dig too hard into it. It's Grandma's Boy.
I love there's a couple, Kevin Nealon, when he's telling the story about the eagle and the eagle splashes into the water and then he gets up on the desk and he goes, and it swam with the dolphins or the porpoises and he's doing the little porpoise across the table. I'm fucking laughing out loud. And then Alex is asleep and she says, is he sleeping? And Jeff goes, yes, and possibly shitting his pants.
He wakes up in a nice rip, Alex. Huh? Yeah. What?
Did we discuss the Dance Revolution scene?
We did not.
Okay, we have to. So he's challenged to do Dance Revolution.
Jeff is. By
Bobby. Bobby's great. What a character. Total dork, total nerd. Like they said, in the Woody Allen jacket. It's so great. And what I love about this scene is if you don't see, before you see Jeff, what Jeff's going to do, and you just watch Bobby, you're like, all right, man, this kid's fucking pretty good at Dance Revolution. I mean, perfect, great score, perfect. And he's hitting all the steps, and you're like, all right. And it just makes it that much funnier when Jeff gets up there and starts disco dancing on this thing and swatting his ass. And, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It's a hilarious scene. It makes me laugh every single time I see it. It's so stupid. It's just the awesome physical comedy, just hilarious.
And you know what's nice about this whole thing with Adam Sandler and this crew of guys that he's put together that would eventually start coming in and acting in movies that he would direct and write that he wouldn't even act in, like this one, for instance, is he gave these guys their shots. So even though their stars rose, guys like Rob Schneider, guys like David Spade, you're not going to get these guys to come in and do 2-minute roles in your movie. By this time, these guys all have their own premiere movies. Deuce
Right.
Bigelow, 1, 2, David Spade, Black Sheep, the other one he did there with Farley. He did Dickie
Boy.
Roberts. I mean, these are leading men in comedy now, and it's amazing the network of actors that Adam Sandler was able to put in his stable.
Did they all do SNL together? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah,
Some-
'cause I
they
think
all
that's
had their
all.
feet in
Yeah,
it.
because Farley
Some.
was it's like that's the crew, right? It
The big
started there. I mean,
dogs.
obviously not Dante, not
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Jeff
Right,
Covert,
right.
not fucking Nick Swardson. He was just a stand-up that
No,
happened
the
to
same
get into the.
regulars.
But
Yeah.
but Carvey, I'm sorry, not Carvey.
Oh,
It's not Dana
David
Carvey.
Spade.
What's his name?
David
Thank you.
Spade.
David Spade.
David
It's not
Spade,
Chris
David
Roy
Farley.
Carney, it's his
Schneider.
name.
And Kevin Nealon. They're all
Kevin
Saturday
Nealon.
Night Live alums.
Nealon was also SNL. Yes.
Right. They're all alums.
I don't want to call him Boob. I want to call him Bob. What about Bob?
Oh,
All right,
man.
boob. We're gonna go to the end. You ready?
I'm
He
ready.
heads over to Dante's house and orders him to roll a joint containing several different kinds of super potent weed. Dante gladly agrees, and they begin to smoke it. In an effort to find the truth, Samantha visits Lily and inquires about Alex. Lily doesn't know where he is, but offers to help after she hears about what happened with the game. As it turns out, Lily is the only other person who knows about Alex's game. Everyone is now in Mr. Cheesel's office. They plan to prove Alex's ownership of the game. Lily will challenge JP at the game. JP, of course, scoffs at the idea of playing an old lady, which just makes Lily angrier. After nearly losing the battle, Lily hits a special code, which makes her character utterly destroy JP's character. Mr. Cheezel apologizes to Alex and offers him his job back. The movie ends with a party at Dante's house to celebrate the release of Alex's game. Drive, monkey, drive. Like the scene with them smoking the gigantic joint is so stupid and amazing. I love it.
We can't dismiss Dante.
I was just going to say that.
Probably one of my had to be my favorite character was Dante. And he's in there with his African voodoo whoever roommate and he's gonna get him a lion. And just looking, Dante had different hairstyle every time you saw him in this
So good.
movie.
So good.
And when he's talking, it's how the doctor's going to get him a lion. There's a lion coming in a couple of days. And he brought this weed from Africa that is so strong you think you're a deer.
Yeah.
Dude,
You better watch your
eat.
tone, kid. The lion
lion.
you can't be doing that with a lion.
The character
Dude,
of Dante
lions
is
eat
amazing.
deers. That's right, they do. And then he got the monkey.
Karate monkey.
Karate monkey. He's got the Chinese jiu-jitsu. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Taekwondo. He's going to teach me and monkey Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Mr.
Oh,
Lee Ho.
my God.
And the monkey gives Alex a black eye.
But the funniest thing is the monkey starts freaking out upstairs while everyone's in the basement, and they tell Lee Ho to tell the monkey to calm down. And he goes upstairs, and all you hear is the fight between Lee Ho and Monkey. And Alex goes to the bottom of the stairs, and here comes the karate monkey flying down the stairs in a flying kick move. I almost peed. I laughed so hard with Karate Monkey. That was
Fucking
the
Dante. Dante is
best.
the best. The little fucking
The
news, the little news thing we get where she's like, "We're here with Dante,"
and
he
he's
goes,
cursing up a storm.
"Yeah," and he's like,
I'm
"I looked up
sorry.
in the tree, and there's the king of the jungle." So I called the 5-0. I mean, dude, it's fucking hilarious when Alex goes to the door and he says, he goes, it's I'm putting up my Christmas stuff. He goes, "It's July." Oh my God, it is. Why are you naked? Oh my God, I am naked. This
Dude,
fucking character. I love this
Your
character.
ass is more tan than my face.
face. Yeah. And this build they give you, the slow build with Dante, how he starts at the lion, goes to the monkey, And then at the end,
At the
we're
end, it's
gonna get
perfect. The
fucking
elephant.
Elephant. It's so
And the best,
good.
I think one of the best lines at the very end, Monkey, go karate chop the elephant. I almost cried. Dante was my favorite character.
Yeah, I
Favorite.
really love Dante.
ridiculous.
I love Dante. I love that was the charm of this movie was all these characters. They were all so good. Jeff was so good. Fucking
Over
Dante
the
was
top.
so good. Dr. Shakaloob was so good. They fucking JP was so good. I mean, even the little role that they give David Spade as Shiloh, so good.
Shiloh. Is that
Kevin-
your real name?
Kevin Nealon, so good. It's some really, really good characters that they have given us in this movie.
That's
So the end of
funny.
this movie, all right, this again doesn't make sense the way that they've served it up to me. So presumably Alex has given JP the only existing disc of Demon Slayer.
Demonic.
And demonic, whatever. Demon Slayer is a better name. Should have called it that.
It's the name of an anime.
Okay. So demonic. So supposedly Mr. Cheezel thinks that JP has been developing demonic for, like a year. He's in possession of the only disc. Alex has never told anybody but his grandmother about this game. And they know, and Mr. Cheezel knows that they had an interaction the night before. So they're both accusing each other of stealing the game. But JP has the only copy. The only copy. So at this point, it's his word against his word, and the evidence is in JP's hand. So even though the grandmother beats him, that's not going to stand up in court. JP will be like, so what? She beat me. Kid her grandson is a fucking protege at video games. The kid is a savant at video games. He showed her how to fucking do this. He found the fucking demon in the code, and he fucking showed her this. Doesn't matter. I've got the disc. I wrote the disc. Any judge is going to go, okay, Alex, so what is your proof? I wrote the game. Well, that's not evidence. JP is going to, at the very least, even if Mr. Cheezel sides with Alex and throws JP out of there, he's just going to pull the disc out of the fucking thing and say, I'm just going to shop this game somewhere else then. Fuck you. Doesn't have to come out on Brainasium. Crickets. Right there. Crickets.
And that was all for...
I mean, you went on and on and on. We thought you were going to keep going. What can I say?
Okay. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
in the real world, sure. Yeah, but that doesn't serve the purpose of a movie, and you have to suspend your belief a little bit in a movie.
Yeah, but when you're going to serve up fucking a plot like this at the end of the movie, it can't go both ways so obviously. Like if it's
Right.
subtle, then I'd say, okay, it's subtle. No, this is a glaring double jeopardy. You can't give it to me both ways. Can't give it to me
Right.
both ways. This is the only existing copy.
I mean,
then-
even if he said, okay, Alex, tell us how you got the frame rate this smooth. And he could say, well, I did this, this, and this. And JP wouldn't know because JP has heads clipping off in his game.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, there's no clipping. It's the frame rate is so smooth. Like he was,
but presumably Mr. Cheezel has never seen this Demon Slayer 3 game that JP's been working on for a year because he doesn't recognize demonic as that. Like he's not.
Okay,
he
so
wouldn't-
the game that they've been working on
yeah,
is Eternal Death Slayer 3.
right.
The game that JP is working on is an additional title that he's been working on in private and nobody knows about it.
Okay.
Right, that's why they need to bring in Samantha so they can finish
Eternal
Demon
Death Slayer 3.
Okay.
So
And
they
then-
can get on the next project that
Okay.
JP's doing.
So Kevin Nealon has been talking to JP about this new game that he's been developing, but he hasn't seen it yet, and that's
No.
why he's able
No.
to present demonic
Yes.
as that
Right.
game. Okay, good. I've only seen the movie 500 times. I'm glad that's clear.
I can't believe you didn't figure that out yet, that there was 2 games. Because at some point, Linda Cardellini says, 2 games in 1 year, that's a lot. And he's like, well,
Yeah.
we've got JP, so we're going to do it.
Okay, you gonna go on all night with this or what?
I mean, fuck you.
Okay.
I mean, fuck
okay.
you.
Okay.
You want to see my
All right.
Italian head coming at you?
Holy shit, she just grabbed me through the screen like Sammy Kerr in Trick or Treat. Okay. I think I have a fever. I'm going to come downstairs and take my temperature after the podcast.
Oh my God. Like for the 30th time this week.
Okay.
He loves to take his temperature. It's a thing. It's a thing. He takes his temperature regularly.
Let's wrap this up. So anybody else have anything else to say about this? I
No,
think
I'm
we've
ready
done
to
it.
move on, baby.
Me
I
too.
was impressed that Monkey had his red belt and Dante had his yellow.
Yeah. Not bad.
Monkey's
Not
a
bad.
fast learner.
Monkey is a fast learner.
And Monkey
Okay.
plays the drums on
I love
Dante's
the
head.
monkey. I love the monkey. The monkey was great. All right, let's
Karate monkey.
recast this sucker. So I would replace Linda Cardellini with Christine Taylor, who you guys might recognize from Dodgeball.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, same
I actually thought-
actress.
I actually thought that was her until I heard the voice and realized who it was.
Yeah, me too. It was an easy pick. Dylan, what do you got?
I am replacing Kevin Nealon with Pauly Shore.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
That works. Yeah, it's great.
Right?
It's great.
Like,
I love
that would
it.
be hilarious.
Yeah, you
He
could
could
make
do the Pauly Shore thing.
Yeah, you can make the character a little wackier and fucking I love it. And
Yeah.
Pat, what do you got?
I've been racking my brain. I'm trying.
I'm sure.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I might
What
go.
brain?
Right.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go a little old school or odd school and replace Dante with Tommy Chong.
You just
Okay.
said Dante was your favorite character. We're gonna replace
Yeah, I
him.
know.
Tommy Chong, huh? Yeah, a young Tommy Chong, like
Yes, yes.
like Up in
Like
Smoke.
Up in Smoke.
Yeah. Okay.
Era. Yes.
Okay, I love it.
I could take
Oh.
that.
Okay, cool.
I
How am
couldn't have
driving?
thought of a bigger pothead other
Deeper
than Jeff
Birch,
Spicoli.
man. Oh god. Oh yeah, Spicoli would have been fun too. Imagine putting a fucking young Sean Penn. That would have been pretty
Sean
good.
Penn. Yeah, that was. I was flipping a coin between the two.
Oh, you know who else it could have been? I mean, I hate to say it, but Keanu Reeves probably could have pulled that off too in his Bill and
Sure.
Ted type
Oh,
deal.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
In his Bill and
but-
Ted days.
But I love Dante. I mean, the actor. He's
Favorite.
really good, and he fucking nailed it.
Oh, he's
Is-
so good
again,
in Winning
It was
Singer.
my favorite character in the whole movie, other than the monkey.
Let's do some scores.
Okay. Final thoughts or rewatch score. Pat, go.
Pat's dying.
All right. Pat is literally choking on a bong hit. Somebody call 911. Delin, go.
Okay, I love this movie for a million reasons. It's fucking stupid. It's fun. It's not meant to be, War and Peace. For what it is, 4.27.
Nice. Pat, what do you got?
The first time I watched it, within the first 15 minutes, I sent Des a text. This only one word describes this movie: infantile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was after 15 minutes. By the third time I watched this movie, it just grew on me. I was looking forward to scenes. My favorite scene is the party when his grandma and her roommates drink his weed.
So
and
good.
They couldn't, and all I could think of was you two when they couldn't stop laughing. So good. I would have to give this movie surprisingly a 4.5.
All right.
Nice. All right. And as dumb and fart joke level of a movie as this is, it's still one of my favorites in this genre of movies. It's just an easy listen. And I say listen because it's all the funny little lines that make it so clever for me and so charming. I love it. My rewatch score for this is 4.51. It's not as funny as a movie like Daddy's Home, but it's really good. So I enjoy it very much. Lynn, what does that bring this out to? And where does it put it on the Hey, Did You Ever See That Movie chart? And this is our 80th movie that we have reviewed tonight. So it's a big
Nice.
landmark. Yeah.
4.426. Okay. So this movie falls at number 23, under Trading Places and right above The Prestige at 4.4266667.
It's fine. I love it. You could have slotted
can
this
accept
anywhere in the top like 30 and I would have been happy with it. All right. So we did it. We absolutely did it. So we will be back again next week where we will be reviewing Blade Runner with Mikki and Tony 2.0. And the funny thing about this is, so when Dylan and I were throwing the idea around of doing a movie podcast so long ago, we said, let's do a beta. We'll just do a beta run. We'll watch a movie and we'll see if we can even do it. So we watched Blade Runner. And we actually did an hour and like 20-minute podcast, just the two of us. And I have this podcast tucked away in my archive. And someday I will release it so you can all hear it. It is fucking hilarious. Like we were trying to be Siskel and Ebert. Like, I do concur. It is so fucking gay. It is horrific. It's horrific. But I have it. And we'll release
it was terrible. It's so bad.
This one's been a long time coming. I won't give it away whether I like Blade Runner or not, but I cannot wait to review it. This week on Breaking Vinyl, we did some weird Collective Soul album. Dylan's got her hand up. I don't know why.
Because I'm waiting for you to finish. And I have to talk again before you end the podcast. Don't you understand how somebody raising their hand works?
Okay, so we
didn't go to school.
We did some obscure Collective Soul album. You can go check that out. And we'll be back next week with Breaking Vinyl as well, where we will be breaking down a Linkin Park album. Pat, Linkin Park. Yes, so we're doing Linkin Park album. So there you go. Dylan,
Which one?
What would you like to say?
I wanted to say that I made a mistake. Shut up. I made a mistake. It's not number 23 because I'm high. I could not do numbers. It's actually at number 18, under The Usual Suspects and above Constantine.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, and anybody that knows Dylan knows that eating gummies is like a big thing. So it's funny. It's funny. Hope you all enjoy it. All right, that's funny? It. Pat, thanks for joining the show. Dylan, thanks for sticking it out for 20 years. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for coming by and listening to the show. And that's it. So until next time, I just have one question for you. And that is, hey, did you ever see that movie? See you next time.
I'm getting a monkey.
Oh, shit.